I like flowers, and you know, in Florida, there's no reason not to have color. But I have to admit, summer is a little bit of a challenge, but don't worry because Liz Felter, our commercial horticulture agent, is with us, and Liz is gonna make it easy, right?
I'm trying.
There you go.
It's going to be a beautiful display at least.
You brought in bunches of color here. I've got one of my favorites here. So can we start with this one here?
Yes, we can.
This is Pentas.
Pentas.
Neat. Don't
Great colors. We have that red one, comes in pinks, lavenders, and white. Beautiful plant in your yard. What's really beautiful about it, it brings in hummingbirds, can bring in butterflies.
Especially this
Just
red that I have. That's
yeah,
why I
the
like
red
it.
is a big draw.
And you know, it gets taller than most of them too. Now, have they dwarfed the Pentas, or is it just natural dwarfing, or what do you think?
I think there may have been some gene manipulation there, but I think it's kind of fun because then you can have a tall one in the back and drop down to lower levels with other colors, you know.
You've got a pretty one right in front of you there.
Yeah, I love this. This is.
What do you like about that
I like this one because it's like a really bright hot pink, but it has like a white center.
Yeah.
It looks like a little eye, little white eye
Right
in the center there. It's super pretty. Gives you some variety out there.
And there's other colors. There's purples, and of course
white,
there's plain white
just
also.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
just beautiful.
Now for summer we do have lots of choices, don't we? Typically we think of spring and winter, but summer we do have choices.
We do.
But they got to be tough.
They got to be tough. Or you have to be tough.
Yeah,
you know, one or the other.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. There you go.
Exactly.
There are many choices, and what I think people don't realize is that color can be flowers, but it can be colored leaves and foliage. And I brought some of those today to show you.
Well, let's start with being we're talking about foliage. Start with these right here because, well, first of all, you got the caladiums.
Yes.
The plant that made Florida famous.
Yes.
Yeah, we grow more caladiums. 98% of the caladiums in the world are grown in Florida. Did you know that? It's kind of neat.
I know. I love being able to talk about Florida being at the top of the list with that.
And
that's
you know,
really fun.
A lot of them are named after people, Fanny Munson, Carolyn Wharton, all those great ones there. I don't know what this one is. It looks like Carolyn Wharton
to me. It looks like Carolyn Wharton to me too. And what's fun about this is that it's actually a bulb, and you could actually purchase it as a bulb and put them in the ground yourself, or purchase it ready to go in the ground with the leaves up and just gorgeous to go in the pot.
And that's where it is, right? Like that. You take it, put it in the ground. Any particular sun or shade situation?
You know, this one's not going to do full sun. It likes to have partial sun, partial shade. Probably afternoon shade would be the best because it's not going to do good in a western exposure with the heat and everything.
Wilt down.
Yeah.
And a great container, great in the ground. Now, this is an old favorite.
Yes, one of my favorites for sure. Croton. And great color. Can go full sun, can go some shade. Can be the backdrop to, say, a row of marigolds.
There you go.
In front of it. It's a real pretty combination.
Big problem we've had lately in recent years is cold.
Yes.
So, you know, if you keep them in containers, bring them in, all those type of things.
Or cover them if they're in a large bed. But realize that you're going to have to, you know, take care of them in the cool weather.
Yeah, now you have some others starting down there.
I
some other
do.
things.
This is Coleus. Coleus has been around for years and years and years. It's a great old standby. This one happens to be a red. And then we have a lemon lime, just all green.
Now, some of those will grow in the sun. Some of them have to have shade. I guess you ask that question when you buy them.
You kind of do. And there are newer ones that can handle more sun. But I find that they kind of like a half and half day. Most of them. You can have morning sun and afternoon shade and be okay with that. I love this one. It's got a blushing pink color to the green. It's so pretty.
Varieties out
Super
there now.
fun.
Yeah. Right down in front, begonias. You got one down there. I've got a couple over here.
Yep.
Good old wax begonias.
Wax begonia. This happens to be bronze leaf. These are the sun type. Then it has its cousin that has green leaves that you can put in the shade. You could alternate that with an impatient bed. You know, those are both good for shade.
Yeah, speaking of impatiens, we do have a whole cluster of impatiens down here.
Yes, we do.
And I love impatiens. During the summertime, they've got to be in the shade, I think.
They have to. Otherwise, you have to be ready to go out and maybe give them a little spritz with the hose to cool them off.
Mine will wilt down terribly. But during the wintertime, they'll grow out in the full sun. Also in hanging baskets. I use mine mainly in hanging baskets.
Yeah, I like them like that too.
Do we have something else very cool?
We
We're running out of
do.
time.
We have something called vinca, and the other name
Periwinkle.
is periwinkle.
Yeah.
And this plant has come a long way in the last 10 or 15 years for being able to not be affected by the heat and the humidity. Has less fungal problems than it used to in the past, and super colors.
Try to keep them dry if you can. That's the secret to it. And right next to you, We've got
Our good old standby marigolds,
marigolds.
and the little tiny heads I love the best. But they come in varieties where the heads are as large as golf balls.
Almost became our national flower. Did you know that?
Oh,
the
my
rose beat it
goodness,
out.
that's
the way
great.
it worked. Liz, thank you very much for bringing
Thank
all this in
you.
here. And you've told us that we do have choices, right?
And plenty of them.
Good. Thank you, Liz. And if you want more information, as always, call your local extension office. They have a bulletin on bedding plants, and I bet that'll help you out produce all this color in your landscape too. Kind of neat.